Well, this is a new app for my phone, for my camera. It's real windy today, so I don't know how the audio is going to come out. I'm fixing to crank up the forge that's behind me. I just figured I'd sit down and do a short video, kind of just to test the app. This is Open Camera off the F-Droid software repository. I have a little clamp that fits on my tripod, and I'm using an old video tripod for the that wind's probably cutting out my audio right there. It is a real windy day. It was a real windy night last night. We probably had 40-mile-an-hour gusts or better up here on the mountain. I actually got my coffee sitting right down here on my secondary anvil. This is my I don't know, it's probably 140 pound. No, it's bigger than that. It's probably about 160, 180 pound anvil. My Hay Budden anvil is probably about 140 pounds. It's the one I use that I like the most. But I'm gonna crank it up here in a minute. It's a nice Sunday afternoon, or Sunday right at noon. I'm gonna do some blacksmithing today. Try and keep some forward momentum. I'm not doing a lot of construction right now. I usually build houses and decks and barns and fences and that kind of stuff for a living. But right now I'm pretty much staying home and doing projects around the house. I built a new chicken pen, built a new chicken run, re-roofed the blacksmith shop here, rebuilt my grinder, did 4 knives, a commission for a fella down in Red Bank. Cleaned out the whole shop, reorganized everything, made it where I can work in here, because I figure maybe I'll be working doing blacksmithing from home. I don't know. But put a wall on. That's one reason we don't have quite as much wind in here in the shop as we would out there. I mean, I'm watching these trees just sway back and forth and go crazy outside the shop. But anyway, so I'm just kind of working towards it. One of the guys I work with and his family got the coronavirus. That's the first person I know that got it personally, and that I know personally that has gotten sick. Now it's about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks in, and he's past it. He never went to the hospital for it. He just went and got tested, and they told him he was positive, and he was down sick for a week or so. He was down real bad sick, and his wife didn't really have that many symptoms. She got sick, but not real bad. But he said it was pretty rough. He wasn't coughing when I talked to him, but the health department said that he's been far enough past that he's able to go out and he doesn't have to quarantine anymore. So we may get back to work. I don't know. He needs a little bit of time to recover. He's been working, but on his own projects, just like everybody. I mean, I have. So that's the first person I know that's gotten sick. Up till this point, I only knew third hand and fourth hand of anybody that got sick. This is a first-hand experience with it. I haven't gotten sick. The family hasn't gotten sick. Even when I talked to him and he was clear from the health department, I stayed pretty good distance away from him. But, you know, it's like I told my wife, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get this eventually. No matter what you do, everybody gets the flu, the regular flu, once or twice in their life at least. So I think it's inevitable that we'll get the coronavirus sooner or later. Delaying it is good, and taking precautions is still good. I'm not against taking precautions. Wear a mask if you want to. I don't think that it is unconstitutional for them to mandate you wearing a mask or mandate you staying home. That's not right. That's not within the state's right or the federal government's right to do. They can't do that. They don't have that right to tell you that you can't go anywhere. You have the right as a U.S. citizen and as a person on this planet. You have the God-given right to free travel and to go where you want and to do what you want. You have those choices to make for yourself. It's like your salvation issues. You can choose heaven or you can choose hell, and that's all on you. Nobody makes that choice for you. Nobody forces you to make a choice either way. You make that choice. You decide where you're going. And the same thing goes with the coronavirus. If you want to take precautions, that's fine. I saw a video of a guy licking his shoes after going out of Walmart, and I thought he was stupid, but you know, he said he never got the coronavirus. That's his deal. If he wants to do that, he's an adult. He can make those choices. I don't have a problem with it. I just think this whole, they're going to shut us down again, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll try and shut down the economy again. But that wind is something. It's only about 50 degrees though right now. It's going to get cooler, I'm sure. This is my favorite coffee cup. You've probably seen it in videos. Got a dogwood flower on it. Made in Pigeon Forge. Y'all go back up the driveway now. All right. Malachi, you need to put some shoes on. No, go on and put some shoes on. It's cold right now. You need to go put shoes on. Go ask your mama for socks. It's hard to keep these boys wearing shoes. They'd rather get out and run around and cut their feet up and get callous. And I mean, I was the same way when I was young. Run around barefoot over gravel and in creeks and metal piles and everything else. I had to get onto him the other day. He was in the metal pile and cut his foot. If you don't know if you know a blacksmith personally, they all have a metal pile. We all have a metal pile. Mine is getting a little bit big, and there's stuff I'm never going to use, so some of it's going to go to the scrapyard. But that's one way. When we're out relic hunting with metal detectors, we end up finding where people have had a bunch of iron. That's how you know where there's an old homestead. If there's a blacksmith shop, you really see a bunch of iron. You see a bunch of coal and coke in the ground. But people used to save iron because it was difficult to get. I save iron. I hardly ever buy any steel. All these knives I make, they're mostly, let's see, I've only used one set of new steel, and that was some that somebody gave me, my brother gave me for Christmas. And I made it into handguards and stuff. It was mild steel. All the steel that I use is recycled. Mostly from springs. I mean, like what I was making axe heads out of the other day. This here, that's, see how it's got a little bit of a wave to it and a ripple? It's because it was a coil spring. This is a big 1-ton truck coil spring. Best knife material that you can get. This stuff, people talk about micro fractures. As long as you test your blades and you quench them and heat treat them and you look at the springs and check them for quality, it's not like a leaf spring. Leaf springs can have some cracks in them. These coil springs are pretty tough unless they're broke. That's a coil spring right there. That's my carry knife. And I have pried on things and chopped things and hammered this through things, stuck it through point first and pried on it. And you just can't beat coil spring steel. It's most of the time it's 5160 or some other high carbon steel. It quenches well. Usually when I get a set of springs that the great thing is they come in 4s, so, or 2s, pairs or quads. And if you get one, test it. When you test it, then you know what the other ones are good for, and then you know how to heat treat them. All you got to do is, people just don't want to. They don't want to do that on their own. They want to go buy some factory steel and then turn around and know exactly how to heat treat it. And that's not what, I mean, blacksmiths have done that, but in the past, at least around here, mountain blacksmiths in the Appalachian Mountains and North Georgia, North Alabama, East Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, all those blacksmiths pretty much used whatever they could get to make things. And so a lot of knives and axes and everything are made out of iron with a carbon steel blade or a carbon steel bit on an axe, and then carbon steel for the blade, and sometimes iron for the tang on the knives. I was working some the commission I just did was was made out of water tower steel. The guy was worked for the water company, and he was in the treatment business where he treats the water, and his buddies worked at the water company. And he said, he just told me when I gave him those knives, he said, yeah, those guys worked under that water tower for 40 years. And that's why he wanted those knives made out of that steel. And I made it out of that steel. The steel is, I've got some around here. Still, he gave me a ton of steel. I told him, I said, you only need that much to make a Bowie knife. Not much. It's 1/2 inch thick steel. And, but it was medium carbon. I told him it's not going to be the greatest for edge retention. It's not going to hold an edge like a high carbon steel or like a spring steel will. It's tough. It's not going to snap. It'll bend before it snaps. But I quenched them as hard as I could, and I put a good straw temper on them. So I kept them kind of hard, and they sharpen well. I mean, you know. My sander belts are blowing off the shelf. They sharpen well. They got a shaven sharp edge, but it's like I told him, you go to chop it on something like oak or Osage or ironwood, and it's going to dull that edge pretty quick. It's not like 5160 where you can take and chop it all day long into something and it holds that edge pretty well. So steel makes a big difference. I've learned the same thing with my Damascus knives. They don't hold an edge like a 5160 would. Even though they're high carbon and they're pattern welded, they're just not the same. They got a good cut though. They cut meat real well. Mainly, I think, because they got that hard and soft alternating up the blade. But anyway, this is a short video. I'm mainly just testing out the properties on this. I've got the settings dialed back a little bit, so I don't have as much of a video file to upload. I was uploading from this phone. It wouldn't let me change the size of the video, and it was causing me to have to upload 1 gig and 2 gig files, and it was taking forever. I would set it in the afternoon. I have high-speed internet. Usually it doesn't take me long, but I set it in the afternoon, and it'd be the morning before it uploaded. And I'd rather have a lower quality file and have it upload quicker. That way I can do more videos and take my, you know, give my internet a break. It's not just me using it. My wife uses it, you know, and if I'm loaded it down, she notices. So it's good to take as little time as possible uploading. So I'm gonna see how the quality is on this video. This is a new app, and if it's good and it's smaller enough file size to upload, because right now I'm up to about 13 minutes on this video, and this is just a talk where I'm at, you know, what we're doing. Drinking my coffee. When I finish this coffee cup, you can't set coffee cups on the anvil for very long. What happens is it saps the heat right out of them. So unless you got a double insulated coffee cup, it saps the heat out of it. But I'm gonna, as soon as I get done with this coffee cup, finish that, I'm gonna probably turn around here and kindle myself up a fire, and I'll put I'll probably work on some axe heads. I've got 2 axe heads to make. I might make 5 just because. I really like making axe heads. They're fun. They're simple. I make little belt hatchets. They're really neat. I need to find some good handle material. I've got some hickory, but not enough. I need to buy some more hickory or find some more hickory. But anyway, have a nice day. Don't get too worked up. Be calm. Do the things that need doing, and don't put them off. God bless.